and hear me. Hello, how are you? How are we? Welcome to Democracy. So, what am I doing here today? For those of you that have been here, I've been going for a minute. So, an update, what I'm doing here today, and where we're going forward with this particular channel. So, hello, my name is Tiffany. Hey, friend. Hey, hey, cousins. Um, what are we doing? The title is The Five C's. And then I have KISS, which is Keep It Simple, Sweetie. We're going to do the ABCs of government, and then I put ETC, meaning, etc., additional things. So, if you know me, and as you get to know me, what you will do is you will know that I absolutely love politics. I grew up loving to watch C-SPAN. I've always appreciated the decorum. It seemed as a very fair and even ground. I grew up watching women have just as much power and say so within certain aspects of our government. Here recently, in having conversations with people, I think that a lot of us and others. Now, let me say this because we're gonna keep it real between each other, right? Mama ain't been in school in a long time. Very politically astute. However, I want to ensure that I get down to the just most basic of understandings. What triggered this is the political climate that we have is very incendiary, and a lot of things are left up to interpretation. And we have to control the controllable, which part of the series will be when we get to mental health and or um, strategic emotional intelligence. We'll get to talking about what we control, what we can't control, and again, how that can tie back to politics. Because every day that you wake up, we are seeped in politics. This channel in particular, again, is I want us to get down at a very base level of what's the Constitution, what does it say, what are the Bill of Rights, what are the levels of government, the branches, how do they work, what does the electoral college look like. Hopefully between now and as we continue to grow, we're going to transition out of having braces. So work with me. There are words that I will get a bit tongue tied with, but the motivation is for education. And I believe in holistic education, so meaning mind, body, and soul. Um, we are going to do the five C's of civics, civility, culture, communication, and cinema. And in saying that, I believe right now our go-to movie will be Sinners. From 1932 to 2025, a lot of the things that we're going to watch, you will be able to put a parallel and understand what's going on. And what I mean that as far as like allyship, if we take Bo and Grace, and what does that look like? Running a business, and when the stakes are not good in the sense of having to work with wooden nickels. Communication, we had some communication failures. We had people that were able to express themselves in a truly gifted way, meaning Sammy being a griot, holistic and wellness with Annie, how she was a hoodoo or root worker and trying to take some of the mysticism and also the spookism, take some of those away. But then also like a very, very baseline of government things. So first, we're going to go over some of the tools. And I am going to say this. I am not so proud that I feel like I'm above utilizing some of these tools. So when you see them, and I'm going to say not even above, I think sometimes we try to reach out and try too big. So I like to learn things with children's books. I also believe in healing your inner child. So again, they work hand in hand. Yep. So our tools. We're going to start off with the ABCs of democracy. I am going to read this at the end. It's written by Hakeem Jeffries, which he is one of the leaders in the DNC. This is my channel, and I'm just going to keep it real. There's a struggle of wanting to be politically correct and not offend. Hakeem Jeffries, this is a great book. I'm not very pleased with his performance in leadership within the DNC, and I often call him Timu Obama or Sheehan Obama. I think that he wants to have that kind of political pull, but just he doesn't have the ability to evoke emotions and to sell what he's trying to say. So we're going to come back, and it actually says American values over autocracy, and then benevolence over bigotry. So the ABCs of democracy. And this was written in 2022. So this is post our first time we had President Trump. This was written after. We're also going to utilize the ABCs of Black history and culture. It uses rhyming. So B is for beautiful, brave, and bright, a book for those that take a bold journey through the alphabet of Black history and culture. So I know I was raised in a very Black, very proud, knowing who our heroes are, being curious. My mother took us to the library every Friday or Saturday. You'd rent it out, like rent out a book and then read it, go back. I am a bluebonnet type of girl. So if you did your summer reading and you got to get like little ribbons and the motivations, I can still remember book days, like the Scholastic. So you would have a week where you could buy certain books. So absolutely love using stuff like this. But said all that to say, I don't think a lot of us as Black people are very aware of how much we have accomplished and how many of our heroes we need to elevate outside of like the big three. You have your MLK, your Malcolm, and then my third, I mean, you could go Rosa Parks. I think that she's pretty valid. So those could be like the three that people always know who they are. I want us to have some additional heroes to introduce to ourselves. With that, we will also be doing the affirmations of positivity. This is also very rhyming. It's just the rhyming ABC story has encouraging words and affirmations from A to Z to inspire and remind us of our inner strength, beauty, power, and worth. So we'll have that. By profession, I am a master teacher. I have 500 hours of yoga in Ashtanga. I have 500 hours in body regulation. I'm trauma-informed trained. I also have my master trainings in the sense of PT, endurance, resistance, nutrition, HIIT. There's a list, and I think if you go to my actual bio, it should have everything there. If not, let me know. I can drop it in. But with that being said, I love teaching with chakras. So we're going to associate our emotions, our feelings with some particular colors, and then figure out what we need to do to activate, fix, enhance our actual bodies with our energy. So we'll have, this one is the Inner Rainbow. This is our chakra book. So we're definitely going to learn about chakras, how to activate our chakras, using that energy to move with love and light. And then in particular, one of the things that I will be working with is the invisible string and grief. I have probably been in a grief cycle. I've been in a grief cycle since 2021. my uncle that was very dear to me transitioned, and it just shook me in a way that had not. And then progressively, time after time after time, different people started to transition, which again will go back to all things our politics. So, are people passing because of gerrymandering, the way that taxes are distributed, our wealth issues, redlining, and how that not only can impact you financially, but also with your health. So, again, you need to be able to understand how the government works so that if it's failing you, you're not going off of emotion, but simply these are the things that are in our Constitution that you may not necessarily be doing right. I hope that we're all on the same page. With that being said, because we always want to deal with culture, right? We are going to jump into this transformative etiquette, a guide to love and refining self. Pop culture, Carnival Cruise, in them rewriting those bylaws, a lot of it was because people are uncouth. I am never okay with people trying to send like a sentiment that you may be anti-black or whatever, but there also is rules of engagement and how people thought it was appropriate to go to cruises and fight. Like, and I'm not gonna put a race to that because all people can fight. I'm saying for us, I want us to hold ourselves up in the highest of heights of being informed. So, what do the rules say? Affirming and being in a good mental, emotional state, and then outside expectations. What are the social norms, and do we have a skill set to dip into those? So, wherever you are in a room, you kind of know how to navigate and put yourself in the best position, right? So, the emotional side, we've talked about the abundance. Now, all of these, and I'm just going to hold this. These are all of our um, government books, and we're going somewhere with this, right? So, we're going to cover the Declaration of Independence. We will cover the Constitution, our government, presidential elections, the Supreme Court. I really want to jump into this because they've been making a lot of decisions that one could question. But also, I don't see the Supreme Court as the be all end all. Go look at Plessy versus Ferguson, and that will say a lot about when the court is kind of skewed in a particular place. So from there, if you look at this one, for which we stand now, it's getting a little bit thicker. So we'll dive into this. And notice we're just going to slow walk. I just want to show you the tools that we're going to utilize. How America works. So this is going to give relevant stories that you won't find in any textbook. It has debates. We'll talk about politics, and also it provides visual explanations so that any citizen, meaning you and I, and at any age, will be able to do it. Again, by way, I'm an optimistic person. So even though we are in a very trying time, I honestly think that this is a revolutionary time. And it's a time where we'll be able to retrain ourselves, get our kids back, bump up our literacy, learn how to really take care of ourselves so that we can take care of our family, so that we can take care of our community intimately, and then those that we choose to share and do work with outside. So one of the books that we do will be The Magical Book of Yes. With Yet as your guide along the way, you'll do all the things you can't do today. And that is really where I am. I'm not discouraged. I'm a bit frustrated with some of the things, but I think the greatest thing as an American is like we have this tenacity, and we see it and we kind of elevated the Rockies of the world where there's some things that can kind of knock you. But I believe that if you face rejection, rejection is protection, but you can be rejected, redirect, and then go into that next season of in protection. What did you learn? How do you share that lesson? And then move forward. Um, the next will be the day that you do. So we will eventually get to doing making a choice for yourself. Again, are you willing to do the work to be politically astute, to have culture, couth, and then the cinema part, being able to recommend things to people outside of yourself that may get a better, it may help them have a better understanding. Again, the Constitution, we're going to dig all the way up in there. But for today, we are going to do the ABCs of democracy, and we will do the letter A for our ABCs of Black history, and also the letter A for our positive affirmations. The movie of the week will be Sinners. So if you've not seen Sinners, please try to see it. I will go and look and see if there's a way where I can live stream and we can watch the movie together and talk back and forth, because not only do I think Sinners is just a good movie, I think culturally there are so many things that we can pull from. It is a masterpiece. The music is phenomenal. The acting is phenomenal. The phenomenal. It's just, to me, 10 out of 10, top tier movie of the year. Probably, depending on where we start, it might be like the movie of the decades. But with all that being said, again, we're going to go through Hakeem Jeffries, The Democracy of ABCs. If you see that, it's got a beautiful, beautiful picture. Hold on 1 second, guys. The light went out, and I really want you to be able to see this. So, let's see what happened here. Now, mind you, we're on a journey, right? We listen and we don't judge. I'm really sorry. I apologize. I'm very apologetic. I really thought I had this system. You know what? This is recorded. I think I'm just going to start over. Let's see. So now we're in a quandary. I think you're going to see me walk out and work out frustration, the desire at this very moment to put out the perfect product and not post this. That is where I am. However, a part of us learning and being in the best position to learn is to honor where we are. So the light is not working. The color of this book and the pictures are so beautiful that, let me see if I maybe swing this back 1 second. I think that I can. Okay, let me see. Yay. Okay, so the illustrations are so very, very pretty. ABCs of democracy. And the illustrator is Shaniya Carrington. So A will be our American values over autocracy. Don't know what that is, you'll look it up. We have benevolence over bigotry, the Constitution over a cult, democracy over demagogues, economic opportunity over extremism, freedom over fascism, governing over gaslight, hopefulness over hatred, inclusion over isolation, justice over judicial reach or outreach, knowledge over kangaroo courts, liberty over limitation, maturity over Mar-a-Lago, normalcy over negativity, opportunity over obstruction, people over politics, quality of life over QAnon, reasons over racism, substance over slander, triumph over tyranny, understanding over ugliness, voters' rights over voter suppression, working families over the well connected, exennial over xenophobia, and yes, we can over you can't do it. Zealous representation over zero sum confrontation. The ABCs of democracy. We'll get better with this. This is such a quick read that I will probably introduce this every time and then we'll go in and break up some of the terms. So, like, um, let's flip. Inclusion over isolation. So, what is it to be inclusive? And then, what is isolation and what does that look like? Taking that same term of, are we having our representatives be inclusive? Are we being inclusive? And then, is it helping? And then the isolation, are we becoming isolationists as a country? Are you isolating yourself? So again, when I say all things are political, you pretty much can make choices that have some type of impact every single day. Your politics impacts your life. Let's see. We're going to do our affirmations, just the ABCs of affirmations. So I'm going to show you the picture. I hope you can see it. It's looking rather dark. Maybe if I pull it back, can you see that? Again, we're doing something different. We're trying something new. We're giving ourselves grace. I'm going to take a breath, breathe in, settle, reset, continue. So A is for afro. With my pride and my roots, I love my textured crown. I will keep my head high so I can never fall down. I am proud of my curly hair. I give it all of my love and all of my care. Our positive affirmations. So for all my natural girlies, don't say nothing because it's still natural. Um, A is for afro. This is how it's going to go. Oh, one more thing. Finances. We will have the investing for kids. And then also, I have it coming in the mail of just understanding financial terms because, again, we've got to come out of the way that we've been learning in teaching. I would make a call to action of, I know that we have a lot of people that are degreed. And when I say people, I'm going to say to my Black sisters that you have degrees, advanced degrees, or just a passion to share particular subjects. If you ever want to come on and partner, if there's some person that you want to just guide our community to learn about particular subjects, because I do believe in subject matter specialists. There are some people that they're dedicated to particular, what would you call it? Studies. There's a better word, but it just the brain is not braining right now. Principles and studies, I guess you would say. Say if you are just into horror, and I will use this, and this will be my shout out because I do want to shout out a Black, um, and I'll say Black American YouTuber, book, content creator, TikTok. This week, I'm going to shout out the Was It Good Though podcast. They have a phenomenal review of the movie that we're doing. So the assignment for the week is to do Sinners. And when I say do, in the sense of just watch the movie, get up like a notebook, write down anything that just you found interesting or something that you questioned or even something that gave you clarity. I will say write that down. Please watch Sinners. Then go and watch. There's a two-parter of Was It Good Though? And their Sinners podcast. It was so balanced, so many different voices. I do know the content creators of that channel. Both of them are amazing people. So give them a follow. Watch the movie. We will dig deep because Sinners for right now is going to be our movie for a little bit. We will, and I'll be back on Thursday. We're going to watch a documentary on Fannie Lou Hamer, again, a juggernaut in politics. I want for us to empower ourselves. I want for us to not buy into this, everything is on fire. We are living in very challenging times, very unforsure, but I refuse to fall into despair. I do believe that life is what you make of it. This is an opportunity for us to get back into literacy, get back into things that we know are factual. So we are not saying fake news. We are reading things that have been sourced, cited, validated that it is what it is. I want us to talk about our culture and what we can do, because while we're saying we want to gatekeep things, you don't want to gatekeep certain aspects of culture that is beneficial to anybody, right? We'll start having honest conversations. I do have a Discord that I've had for a while. As we grow as a community, if we feel like that's a tool that we want to utilize, I'm absolutely okay with it as long as we can be kind and have decorum and treat each other well. And that's the one thing that I will say is that I love you, Black people. I love you, love you, love you. I am beyond proud of being a Black American. I am proud of our culture. I am proud of the things that we have done. I think that we need to tap in and understand, one, how our government works and who has been at the forefront of holding people accountable to the Constitution, who has been included in all of the wars that this country has ever had, how some of the decisions that the Supreme Court or other courts have made that have not been beneficial, but also having a deep, deep rooted understanding of why we move the way we move, what our ancestors have done before us and for us, and that we honor their legacy of not being uninformed and just taking the ride together. So I want to thank you if you made it this far. Please comment, share, like, subscribe, all of the YouTubey things. Work with me. This is it's a labor of love. Clearly, all of the books have to be purchased. So eventually, we'll have like a wish list thing, or any book that you think that you'd love for me to cover. Please, please, please drop it in the comments. So we're going to close with our 5 C's of civics, civility, culture, communication, and then also cinema. So being able to use movies that incorporate all of our core values, And then there are the 5 B's that we're going to talk about, and it's buy black, bank black, bequeath black, build black, bank black. And more than anything, love yourselves, Black people. Love yourselves. And by me saying love yourselves, Black people, is not saying nobody else should not love you. You love yourself for loving you. But I also get to say, I love the melanin that I am in. I love the culture that we've created. I love our music. I love our food. I love our jokes. I love so many things about being a Black American woman. So let's get into it. Let's do a little bit less complaining and get way, way deep into cultivating the lives that we want to have. Yeah. So be good, be kind, and best of all, bask in all of your blackness. Bye, y'all.